My little blue car, about totaled it.
Totaled the thing, yeah.
There's a little plastic thing on my bumper that's off, and that's all. And there's blood everywhere. I mean, it's running off the hood of my car.
I've hit 2 now, and there's whiskers that'll get into your, like, I had whiskers coming out of my bumper, like the hair of the deer.
Well, deer are overpopulated anyway. I don't care what Jake says. There's too many deer, and if everybody could run over a deer on the way to work today, we could take care of the population of the deer, the overpopulation of deer. I'm not kidding you. Bam, bam, boom, boom. Well, did you have a good Christmas, Garrett?
Did? How about yourself?
I had a nice Christmas. I had a good New Year. I was in bed by 10:30. That's how people who are 49 years old roll, baby. I was in bed at 10:30. I didn't even care about, oh, it's midnight, let's kiss and let's have a Happy New Year. No, I was asleep.
About 4:30.
I believe that. We have some major announcements to make today.
Still drunk.
First and foremost, Garrett is still drunk. We have posters to be revealed.
Yes.
I saw like 10 posters in there, and we've got our posters back up on the wall. And we're proud to have them. We've got lots to add, and I've even made up another list. We also have Bob Michaels. If our music sucks today, it's Bob Michaels' fault, and we will fire him. The two consoles will fire him because we said, you know what, we're tired of having to pick this music. And I explained it to him, Garrett. I said, it's called Feel Good. Harmony, melody, beat, a song you want to listen to while you're cruising. And you know what, Garrett? I make a prediction. I've given him 3 days. I make a prediction that it sucks and we have to fire him.
Agreed.
Because nobody gets it. Nobody gets it. TC didn't get it. Bill Spry didn't get it. Bob Michaels isn't going to get it. They don't understand. Like, for example, Sniffin' Tears driving seat. That's what I'm talking about. Ace Frehley, New York group. You know that. Man, you're just cruising and you're feeling good. So we'll see how Bob Michaels is. Then the other major announcement. All right, and this was Bill Spry's genius. The genius of Bill Spry. You know, Denise Johnson was our traffic reporter, and rumor has it that she's in the running for a national Weather Channel show, and we wish her the best. Apparently, she's got a chance to be on the National Weather Channel.
No chance she gets it.
And we have been struggling with the replacement. We tried. Garrett, you sucked at traffic.
Horrible at traffic.
I tried it. I sucked worse.
Because I don't care about you hillbillies on the road. I just didn't.
I didn't
heart and soul.
either. I don't either. And Bill Spry, as the owner of the station, said, guys, we got to have a traffic report. And he says to me, I got an idea, dog. And sitting to my right is Bill Spry's genius. Because curiosity enough, people are going to be tuned in. There's a guy named Gamble who apparently is like back now on the morning radio. Gamble, you ain't got a chance to compete with us. Jim Scott, go ahead and retire. I talked to Willie yesterday. Willie goes, are you kidding me? You have her for your traffic reporter, and I'm stuck with Chuck Ingram. He says he's filed a formal complaint in San Antonio. So without further ado, you know what we ought to do? We ought to do a traffic report without anybody knowing who she is. So let's do that. All right, new traffic gal. Is there any traffic out there that you can report on? And we're not even going to have you identify yourself yet. For suspense.
We should do that in the 8 o'clock hour. Blind
traffic report till 8 o'clock.
And then we'll announce.
Who you are. So can you give us the traffic report, please? Now.
Well, on this Wednesday morning, there's nothing to report, so everything looks pretty good.
So there's nothing to report.
Oh, that was an awesome report.
Nobody can figure her out. I know. It's like I can name that tune in one traffic report. All right, now here's Bob Michaels' attempt to succeed the dog in picking out music.
It's a horrible song.
I think it is too. This is John Lennon. Whatever gets you through the night, and we will fire you if this song sucks.
Whatever puts you asleep.
On Class X Radio. Oh, Garrett. Do we have a backup, like, save song?
Let me put something.
Let me see here.
Fired, Bob.
Ace Frehley's a short song, New York Groove. You know, I mean, it's new. Oh, by the way, I got another announcement. At 8:30 every Friday, we're going to get a report from the one and only Abby Levine from New York, Times Square, of what's going on in New York City. I'm not kidding you. You got Ace Frehley already lined up? Yeah. All right. Bob, here's what we need. Class X Radio. This is the Moondog on Class X Radio. Here's what we got coming up. New Year's resolutions, my trip to West Virginia, movie reviews, the fiscal cliff, my comments on Obama and Congress, gun control, Bengals in the playoffs, bowl games, fired coaches, Schwarzkopf. There's a little preview for you what's to come. And of course we have a new traffic reporter who's going to remain a mystery till 8:05. But we got traffic reports. We got a new traffic reporter on board that we're proud to say. All right, today in history, as we go through the newsletter, things that might be of interest to you. In 1945, Kentucky began a 130 home basketball game win streak, which ended 10 years later in 1955. And my UK Wildcats came back and almost beat Louisville. Good sign for UK, baby.
Almost.
They played a good Louisville team, ranked number 2 or 3, and it was at Louisville. And I'm telling you right now, by the end of the year, those young kids are going to rock. Macaulay Stein was the one that really showed up for the first time to play.
Yeah.
But he can't hit a freaking free throw. And your Bearcats went down for the first time.
First time this year. Sad. But then they came back, bounced back with a nice opening Big East win at Pitt.
And they won the belt ball against Duke.
Who cares? That was the same night they lost the first basketball game. I'd rather they switched. I'd rather lose the football game that's meaningless, win the basketball game.
Now you got to beat Duke and everything. You know what's so funny about Duke? Dr. Colosimo, Angelo Colosimo, the team doctor, went to Duke.
Really? Wow, so he was...
JFK in 1960 announced his candidacy for the presidency. And Class X Radio was there to record it. Maybe the last conservative Democrat to be president. Thank you, JFK. Thank you, thank you. 1965, the New York Jets signed quarterback Joe Namath from Alabama. 1974, the speed limit was imposed of 55 by Richard Nixon. 1983, Kenny Anderson completed 20 consecutive passes. I remember that. I watched that. In 1998, my board operator, my producer, Chris Farley, had an autopsy completed that showed he overdosed from opiates and cocaine. We're laughing about this.
Richard?
Fat guy in a little coat.
Don't do it.
Oh my God.
He was the best, man.
He was. Cuba Gooding Jr.'s 45 today. Do you remember this? This is a classic from Jerry Maguire. Show me the money. I love this. And Tia Carrera is 46, and who could forget the classic Wayne's World? You gotta love Abraham Lincoln. My daughter and son-in-law were Wayne's World.
No, I saw that picture, yeah.
Cassandra. Only her gun. Oh God. No, I did not. How about Roger Miller? You know, maybe people don't realize Roger Miller. I learned how to play this song on the radio. I mean, not on the radio, on the piano. I did. I could play this song on the piano. Ain't got no cigarettes. Barry Goldwater was born today, folks. And George Papa Bear Hallis. Means by no means king of the road. I think I need to become a singer. I really do. Boom, boom, boom. It's also National Volunteer Blood Donor Month. It's Crime Stoppers Month. Careers in Cosmetology Month. It's for my daughter. Radio Month. This is Radio Month. How do you like that? Diet Month. Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah.
Bath Safety Month. Don't slip and fall and die. I mean, that's scary stuff, you know. We have no military deaths to report today. We had some over the week, which we're going to honor later. Today's forecast, partly cloudy. Thursday, sunny, high at 37. Friday, sunny, high at 29. Man, we need some sun. How about traffic? Their new traffic reporter who's going to remain a mystery till 8:05 where you'll be announced. They're going to only know your voice until then. Is there anything going on out there in traffic?
No, it's looking pretty clear, except in Independence you need to watch out for Bambi. That's the only thing to report.
Jeez.
Bambi dead.
She's good. She's already was
Well,
impromptu. That was
That's
good.
witty
That was
lines.
witty. If you missed it, folks, I ran over Bambi about 100 yards south of the Marathon station on the way into work. I did not have time to stop and drag Bambi off the side of the road. Bambi is dead.
You drew blood though. He must be.
Oh, blood scattered all over my F-150 truck.
Did no dent or anything? I mean,
No dinner,
Wow,
nothing.
that's.
No dinner, nothing. Just. Well, I tell you right now, folks, you're going to love when I tell you about my trip to West Virginia. I mean, we got lost on some curvy roads. I am not kidding you. I heard the banjos of Deliverance playing. And my wife said, she says, do you have a gun? I said, yeah, I got 2 guns. And we were driving down these curvy roads at about midnight in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I'm not kidding. Folks, think of the curviest 1-lane country road you have ever been on, and then imagine it being 50 freaking miles long. We missed a turn, and that's what I was on. And that's when I said, roads like this is why I got guns. I mean, I'm not kidding you. I got car sick and I was driving.
Sounds like where they make moonshine and stuff.
Oh, they made moonshine, that's for sure. I mean, there's no question there was moonshine. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, we now give you from the Bulldog selection. This is from the Bulldog selection.
We fired Michael.
We already fired Bob Michaels after one song. This is America, Ventura Highway, which I was not on. It was like Route 169, or it was just 69. It might have just been Route 69 in West Virginia. I think it was the Deliverance Highway. I heard banjos playing as we drove it. Incredible. You know that was actually filmed, I think, in Pennsylvania.
Deliverance was?
I
Never
think
seen
so.
the movie.
Oh
Like
my
that.
gosh, it's very disheartening when you see a guy that is taken advantage of, unable to defend himself. It's really sad. And Jake, I want to again apologize that Bambi died. I really do. I'm sorry.
More deer will be born.
We come back, we're going to cover some more stuff. We're getting rolling here in 2013 on Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. We're back in 2013 having some fun. I'm telling you right now, I got to share this with you folks because it's just too darn funny. Some things that we missed over the weekend that I got to just cover because they were on a weekend, so I need to mention them because you didn't get a chance. Actually, not just a weekend, the whole holidays. Ohio's minimum wage is going to increase 15 cents to $7.85 per hour January. The first tipped employees will see an 8-cent increase to $3.93. There you have it. That's very important. You need to know that. Because if you didn't know that, you wouldn't know what to make as a minimum wage person. What else do I want to mention? Oh, this is a great joke. Oh. Billy Bob and Luther were talking one afternoon when Billy Bob tells Luther, you know, I reckon I'm about ready for vacation, only this year I'm going to do a little different. Last few years I took your advice about where to go. 3 years ago you said go Hawaii, Luther. I went to Hawaii and Arlene got pregnant. 2 years ago you told me to go Bahamas and Arlene got pregnant again. Last year, Luther, you suggested Tahiti. Darned if Arlene didn't get pregnant again. Luther asked Billy Bob, so what are you going to do this year, Billy Bob? It's different. Billy Bob said, this year I'm taking Arlene with me. I didn't see that coming, did you, Gary?
Get it.
Man, Arlene, naughty girl. Arlene sounds like the. Oh, by the way, my wife hates Andy Griffith. You know what I bought for myself? I bought myself a gift at Best Buy before Christmas.
The DVD?
It was like valued at $200, on sale for $75. I now own every single Andy Griffith episode.
How does she hate Andy Griffith?
My wife is very Cosmo. She is like about today. She doesn't live and dwell in the past. And she's very much like non-hillbilly country.
Didn't he die last year?
Yeah, he died this past year. In fact, I think we're going to cover some of that. I think he's one of the biggest stars that passed away. Chad Johnson called the FBI to ask for assistance because a 3-year-old explicit tape of him with a tattooed female. They put that. A tattooed female in a Florida hotel room. Hey, new traffic girl, you got a tattoo?
I have no tattoos.
Good for you.
You got one, don't you?
I got one.
Jake's got however many.
Jessica Simpson confirms she's pregnant for the second time, if you care about that. Do you care? I don't think you care.
Second time? She's
That's
got a
another
kid?
blonde joke. I don't need to cover that blonde joke.
I thought she only had the one.
Yeah, she's going to have the second one. The second child is on its way. George.
How about Kim K?
She's pregnant? Hey, she's already fat. Can you imagine how fat she's going to be pregnant?
Big fatty.
Wow, fatty, 2x4, can't get through the kitchen door. We're mature here.
Yes.
President George H.W. Bush continues to improve. We're happy about that. How about this? The University of Kentucky police located a 17-month-old girl reported missing from California 2 months ago in Lexington. The girl's alleged grandma has been charged with custodial interference. Don't kidnap a kid. And speaking of Kentucky, 1 in 4 children live in poverty in Kentucky. You know what? Politicians in Kentucky suck. Every governor, every legislature, they come along, and Kentucky just stays the same. And you know what? Having gone to West Virginia, I thought of something, Garrett. This is why I should be governor of Kentucky, governor of Ohio, president of the United States, because I think of things that work. All right. I drove all the way to West Virginia, 7 freaking hours to snow ski. Look at the Appalachian Mountains. Poverty all around us. Why in the hell don't we make some damn ski resorts where there's Zippo in Appalachia, Kentucky? There's no ski resorts in the Appalachian Mountains in Kentucky. Why not?
I mean, those people are so poor. I feel bad calling them hillbillies because
They are?
that's like an insult to actual hillbillies.
It is sad for you to do that.
In Appalachia.
You shouldn't call them hillbillies.
I saw a documentary
My
of
mom is
that.
from Harlan County.
There, Appalachia. In college, and like the snake, what do they call that? Like
Snake River?
Wrangler.
Oh, yeah.
Churches?
Yeah, those churches.
Weird.
Weird, man. I agree. All right, resolutions. Have you made any, Garrett?
Nope.
These are the top ones of 2012. They're the same every year. Lose weight. Get organized. Spend less, save more. Enjoy life to the fullest. Stay fit and healthy. Learn something exciting. Quit smoking. Help others in their dreams. Fall in love. Spend more time with family. Now, how come people aren't honest? Let me give you an example, okay? How come the top resolutions for, like, single guys is like this? Man, I want to get lucky with the new girl at work. Okay? For the married guys, man, if my wife would just stop bitching at me. For married women, if my husband would stop farting in bed. For single women,
That's a bad one.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Let's get some. Garrett, give me a realistic resolution this year that you would like to freaking see happen.
Get off cocaine.
Well,
How about that? I mean,
you know what?
That's a realistic goal. I could potentially
Garrett,
achieve.
you need to get off. I mean, off of that.
With your support, I think I can do it.
Well, we'll do our best. We'll take those vials away that we see you in here with.
But I'm not loose. That's not
How about
realistic.
Jake? Jake ought to give up animals.
Yeah,
He ought to
Jake,
give up animals
you're a
this
lost
year.
cause, Jake.
Animals are all gonna die.
Jake, I can't have it. Just stormed
I
out
don't
here.
think he's. I don't. Oh. Now I gotta say my movie reviews. It's too good. Let's talk bowl games. Have you watched any of the bowl games?
Few of them. I watched maybe the last.
South
part of
Carolina.
this.
Did you see the referee screw up the spot?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
called a first down and was short of the chain.
Okay, and then the very next play,
I know.
that guy
Oh.
blew him up.
I know.
His name's like Ledevian or something.
Yeah.
Clowney.
Oh
And
my
he's supposed to be
God.
like the best player. In
Now Friday I want to watch Texas A&M and Oklahoma.
I'll watch one.
And I'm
bowl
gonna
game
watch
this
Alabama
week.
Notre Dame this
That's
Monday.
the only one I care about.
All right. How about the Bengals?
Lucky.
Hmm.
They lucked into
Hey,
the
hey,
playoffs.
hey. This could be, you know what? Let's ask our traffic reporter. Traffic reporter, what'd you think about the Bengals?
Oh yeah.
Well, I am a Bengals fan, so I was rooting them on, so I knew they were going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Have you ever been to a Bengals game?
Only a few, just.
Did you have a good?
few over
Did you have a
couple
good view, good seat?
years. Best seat in the house, I would say.
Good. How about my Cowboys? Romo, 3 interceptions.
plus.
Oh
Romo is the worst quarterback in the league.
no, he's not the worst quarterback in the league. He's the worst quarterback in the league when you need to win.
Yeah, that is too far. Good fantasy play.
Hey, first interception cost him a field goal. Last interception cost him a touchdown. They lost by 10 points. I rest my
depended
case.
on him. Yeah. And I remember hearing some analysts before the game say,
Jason
if the Cowboys lose, it's not going to be Tony Romo's fault.
And Jason Garrett doesn't get fired again. What is he? What? Jerry Jones, my God. Oh, my God. I don't know what to do. What, we got a song? We got a song?
What do you think? Yeah, didn't I give it to you?
I don't know if you gave it to me. I've already lost it. No, you gave me Van.
Yeah, right here.
There it is.
Right
It's
here.
covered. Oh, we like that song.
That's a good one.
You know what? We need a poster of them. Oh, by the way, how about this next segment? You come in here with your posters, Jake. And I've got some more, by the way.
Wait till you see the one, Jake. Oh, my God.
Have you already seen a preview? I tell you what, our studio is the rockinest studio in the tri-state.
Hey, by the way, our TVs don't work right now.
I noticed that.
What the hell?
You know what that might be? I just realized this. I'm not kidding you. I decided not to pay for my cable upstairs at my law office because it just costs too much. I will guarantee you that I forgot that that's the same bill that covers those. That's why they're not working.
Exactly why
I'll
they're
take
not
care of that today. I forgot it's on the same bill. I did. I said, I'm not paying $500 a month for my law office to have cable. But I forgot about the cable. I'll fix that, folks. All right, we come back. More Radio Suburban. Wait, traffic report real quick.
I do have something to report.
Oh, boy.
In Cincinnati, there's an accident on Grand Avenue at Westwood Avenue, and in Hamilton, there's an accident on West 7th Street.
All right. You notice she didn't use any traffic cliches. No
Slow
traffic
go.
cliches. Slow go, riding the brakes,
Sitting on the.
sitting on the brakes.
You never sit on the brake.
You don't sit on the brakes. You put your foot on the brakes. This is Fleetwood Mac, Little Lies on Class X Radio.
89.1 FM, Class X.
This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, we now have our poster presentations, the new posters that we add to our walls. And if you're just tuning in, to become a member of our studio wall, you have to be an icon. We only allow icons. For example, as I look around, we have Clint Eastwood. We've got John Wayne. We got Johnny Cash. We got Raquel Welch. We have Theodore Roosevelt. We got Led Zeppelin. And what's that young lady there? She's an icon.
Sofia Vergara.
Because you can be an icon and be young. So here we are, our presentation posters today. Marilyn, and if you're watching this by live simulcast, you can see Marilyn Monroe. You gotta have Marilyn. Also, right here, baby. Ah, shoot, there goes some posters. Dick Butkus. You know what? This is the first football player to make it on our wall. We got to have Dick Butkus, the baddest middle linebacker of all time.
Better be a badass middle linebacker with that name.
You're right. Linda Carter poster that once graced the walls of my brother Jed's bedroom. I swear to goodness, this is a classic story. I wish I had it on videotape. My dad walks in. He sees the poster of Farrah. He sees this poster of Linda Carter. And he says, paganism, and walked out. And my brother Jed and I said, yeah, paganism. This is Liz Taylor. Not the fat, it was like Elvis, not the fat Elvis. By the way, where's Elvis?
Right there.
Oh yeah, we do have Elvis, thank God. I was worried we didn't have Elvis. We have young, beautiful Liz Taylor as opposed to fat, goofy, gray-haired. Who's that woman in that 101 Dalmatians? That one ugly.
Cruella?
Yeah, Cruella.
Cruella.
Now this is for Jake and Garrett. I approved it. I approved it. Kate Upton, she's gonna be an icon.
She is an icon.
She's an icon. We gotta remain hip. So Kate Upton's been approved.
That one can go right here.
It's gonna be hung right in front of Garrett. Jennifer Aniston, the Esquire poster. Yes. By the way, those to come are James Brown and Jim Brown. Muhammad Ali. I think I forgot Pele. Hank Williams Jr. is going up. Gotta have Hank. By the way, let's all support. You know, we need to bring Hank Williams Jr. back to Monday Night Football. Can we agree to that?
Man, I kind of like whoever they got to replace.
You mean the
that
woman?
Chick,
The country music star?
She is so hot. What's her name, Jake?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
I'll think of it in a minute.
Yeah, shoot.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American juror, I got some movie reviews as we start pop culture. This is 40, okay, with Paul Rudd and that one actress. Great romantic comedy. I mean, gut-busting funny. Saw it on New Year's Eve. This is 40, worth your while. Hobbit. I haven't seen it, but it's 2 hours and 45 minutes. So don't go to see it unless you really have to. And everybody I know who have seen it didn't like it. Said it was too long. Les Miserables. I have not seen it, but my wife saw it with her mother. They loved it. Now here is the movie you gotta go see. You know what? Quentin Tarantino pulled it off. This freaking movie shows the horror of slavery, a great romance, and comedy all in one. Django. I am not kidding you. Garrett, you got to see Django. Django is so good. It's bloody, it's funny, it's romantic, it's like shows how terrible slavery is. It's a ride. There is a series of scenes when Don Johnson plays a plantation owner with a bunch of like Ku Klux Klan guys with their headband, their head dress on.
Yeah.
That is so funny. I mean, you almost feel bad you're laughing, but everybody's laughing. I mean, it is hilarious.
That's one of the ones I want to see in Zero Dark 30.
You got to see Jing. Oh, yeah, Zero Dark 30's out there. I'll see that soon.
Is it? I thought it was like out.
It's coming out.
Selective theaters.
It's coming out. By the way, Justin Bieber was not driving the car. Remember that paparazzi was killed when he was hit by another car while taking photo of the singer's Ferrari last night in L.A. Man, oh man, oh man. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie rumored to have married on Christmas Day. Who cares? Kim Kardashian, you've already reported this. Give us the news.
Baby bump.
Baby bump.
Kanye and Kim.
Yes. Hell with them.
Yeah, who cares?
I think
And
it's Ryan Seacrest, baby.
Ryan Seacrest, baby.
Seacrest. Could be just a ploy for ratings.
And we're not going to announce the name of our traffic reporter yet until the 8 o'clock hour. So for now, she's the mystery traffic reporter. Mystery traffic reporter, do we have anything else to report in traffic?
In Loveland, traffic is flowing freely on I-275 westbound between Loveland, Madeira and Montgomery Road. That's pretty much it, though.
Well, that's good. There's no.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what?
free flowing traffic.
I think she might be good luck for traffic. Like maybe since you're a traffic reporter, the tri-state traffic situation is going to be better. I think Chuck Ingram is bad for traffic.
Yeah, he is. People get pissed off. They
Yeah.
slam on the
Absolutely.
gas,
He causes accidents.
right on tails because of Chuck Ingram.
He's kind of an irritating guy, isn't he?
Yeah. That other guy's the worst.
Oh,
Steve Douglas.
Steve Douglas.
Oh, what a moron he is. You're already better than anybody that other station has.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Any reports of anybody running over Bambi in downtown Independence?
Just one. I heard somebody was going pretty fast and hit
Some
Bambi.
jackass radio
Yeah.
host trying to get to his morning show.
I didn't have time to stop, man. I mean, I'm not kidding you. It was pow, thump, thump. I mean,
That's scary when those
and it
things
was
jump back.
and it-
Like, what the hell?
Hey, at least I was paying attention, so I know it was a deer.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
I mean,
So it's not a
because
human. You're
if
not
it was
gonna
a
find
human,
out-
I would have stopped because I'm not going to get arrested for leaving the scene of an accident.
find out later.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? My brother Thad, a long time ago, him and Nick Frolic, one time driving through Covington, actually, and we wondered where they were. Like they disappeared off the radar. Nobody could find them. And what it was is a kid had ran out in front of them. They had hit him. The kid ended up being okay, but it scared the hell out of him.
Yeah.
Kid ran right out. Pow.
What about a couple years ago? That kid on Wooster or whatever.
Wooster.
My neck of the woods, like, thought he hit a deer. Well, he was on shrooms, so that doesn't help. But he's like driving home, thought he hit a deer, actually hit a kid, and then they found the kid like 2 days later. He was missing in the bushes. Turns out this guy
Wow.
hit the kid.
This is kind of in the pop culture. This is something I know. Everybody knows Hang On Snoopy or Sloopy or whatever the hell it is. Guess what the official beverage of Ohio is? This goes to show you why Ohio is so freaking screwed up all the time. Tomato juice.
Moonshine.
Who the hell make... Yeah, moonshine's Kentucky's. How do you make tomato juice your official freaking beverage? Hell, tomatoes don't even grow well in Ohio. Tomato juice. Why don't you make it like a screwdriver? The U.S. city with the highest rate of lightning strikes per capita. Now, this is kind of freaky if you ask me. Clearwater, Florida. Now, why in the hell is that? Clearwater, Florida. More lightning strikes per capita is
Oh, well, that
Clearwater.
doesn't surprise me. Somewhere in Florida because it always rains down there.
Could be. It might be because my wife's ex lives there.
Could do that too.
I mean, I'm just saying. I don't know if that's true or not. Could be. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, this is a Bob Michaels song selection, which we thought appropriate and good enough for our taste. Beatles, get back on Class X Radio. By WindoWorldCincinnati.com. Hello, Window World. It's Monday. We got 2 more hours of radio to do. And we're just getting rolling here, man. Take some more caffeine. Are we out of Snickers and oranges, or are we good to go? You don't need to get them. I'll get them at the
I'll bring the
break.
Snickers out.
Ohio has began this new year violently. A woman was murdered in Toledo. 3 individuals were shot in Columbus, and Cleveland had its first homicide less than 3 hours into the new year. What's going on, folks?
Going for the record.
The city of Hamilton are having brownouts as they're going to put 2 fire engines and 1 medic unit out of service each day to begin this week. Wow. Hamilton County Sheriff Simon Lease is retiring January 6th after 42 years in public service. He has served as sheriff since 1987. The former attorney has been approved to be a visiting judge next year by the Ohio Supreme Court. Since I'm going to be practicing law in front of him, I just want to give him Oracle status. Oracle status for Simon Lease, there's years of service. University of Cincinnati President Santa Ono said an increase of 30% in the amount of UC police officers on patrol began yesterday. Loading them up, baby.
An increase.
Now let's do some sports. What about all these coaches' firings, Garrett? Mr.
Black
Sport
Monday.
Expert.
Happens every year. The day after the season ends, all the horrible coaches get the axe. Wisenhunt at Arizona. Lovie Smith won 10 games with the Bears. He got fired for not getting into the playoffs.
Yeah,
GM's
he
going
started
down.
out 7-1. How about St. Louis? They started out 4-0, ended up 5-11.
Wow.
Andy Reid apparently is close to being hired to replace Wisenhunt in Arizona. Michael Vick slammed the Eagle players over Reed's firing. Providence plays at Louisville tonight at 6 p.m. Nebraska at 6:30 at Ohio State. Some local schools that might be interesting. Bowl games. Number 20 Northwestern 34 over Mississippi State 20 in the TaxSlayer.com Gator Bowl. Oklahoma State 58, Purdue 14 in the Heart of Dallas Bowl. Number 7 Georgia 45, number 16 Nebraska 31 in the Capital One Bowl. It's a good game. Best bowl game so far. Number 10 South Carolina 33 over number 18 Michigan 28 in the Outback Bowl. Number 6 Stanford 20, Wisconsin 14 in the Rose Bowl presented by Vizio. Number 12 Florida State 31, number 15 Northern Illinois 10, the Discover Orange Bowl. And Pennsylvania 49 over Butler 16 in the Bulldog Nation Bowl. I just made that one up. Everybody else got a freaking bowl. Why can't we?
Got to sponsor one next year.
NFL playoff schedule this Saturday. Number 6 Cincinnati Bengals at number 3 Houston Texans.
How about that? 2 years in a row, so they play the
At
same team.
4:30 on NBC. Also on Saturday. Number 6 Minnesota Vikings rematch at number 3 Green Bay at Lambeau Field at 8 p.m. on NBC. You know what? It's going to be tough to beat the Packers at home, but it's going to be cold. Who's got the running game?
Minnesota, big time. Did you watch that
And
game?
he scored. He ran for 200. Peterson ran for 200 yards last time he was at Green Bay, and he ran for 200 yards
Against them last
week. What do you think? Who's going to win?
I got to go with Green Bay just because they're
They're at home.
Oh, yeah, they're at home.
But it wouldn't be a shock if Minnesota won.
No, I hope they do. I like Minnesota a lot. I like Peterson. 9 yards short of that
I know.
record.
I was rooting for him. Sunday, January 6th, number 5 Colts versus number 4 Baltimore at 1 p.m. CBS. You know what I thought was funny? The Colts beat the Texans, which helps out the Bengals and sends them to Baltimore instead of the Texans. Who would you rather go play at home? The Texans, who's playing like crap right now, or the Ravens?
Definitely Houston. Just because of at home, though. I mean, Baltimore doesn't scare me anymore as a team.
Right.
But they're at home, and they play.
Exactly.
They don't lose at home.
And how about this? If
Houston,
the Bengals
it's not easy to
win,
go to Houston either.
if the Bengals win, they get to go to Denver instead of New England. I'd rather go to Denver than New England.
Yeah, although they're going to lose that no matter who they play that.
We always suck in Denver.
If they don't go down to Houston, I think Houston beats them just because the Bengals' offense is so horrid that, and Houston's defense is that good, they're not going to be able to put points on them.
The Seahawks are at the Redskins. I say Seahawks will kick the Redskins' butt.
Seahawks are on the road?
Yep. Man, Seattle's a tough place.
Oh, that's right. Washington won the division. Seattle is a tough place to play.
Really tough place to play.
I think Seattle takes care of business either way.
All right, traffic reporter. Mystery traffic reporter. What do we have in traffic today?
In Cincinnati, there's an accident. The left lane is blocked on I-74, Hamilton County, eastbound of Coleraine. Stop-and-go traffic from northbound road. And in Hamilton, traffic lights stuck on reds on Vine Street at Highway 4 Paddock Road.
Mystery traffic reporter, the Bengals. Do you think they're going to defeat the Texans this week?
I hope so. I think they're on a good streak, so we'll see.
All right, I hope they do too. Because we need something good for the home team since the Reds blow it. God, how did the Reds blow this freaking thing? It was just so terrible. I want to congratulate UC Bearcats again, though, for beating Duke in the Belk Bowl. I mean, hell, it's still a bowl game, right?
Yay. A horrible bowl game.
The Belk Bowl.
Nobody outside of
Playing
Duke or
Duke.
UC.
I mean, Duke for a while there didn't win a game for years.
Yeah.
And everybody loves to hate Duke, don't you? I do. I hate Duke.
I like Duke.
You do?
I like their basketball team more than a lot of people give them credit for. I'd rather see them over North Carolina.
Hey, you ready for
I like to
some?
root for the white-collar schools.
You ready for some Led Zeppelin?
Yes.
When we come back, I got some very interesting news about the tongue, the human tongue. This is lead for your head. Whole lot of love. Bob Michaels selection, Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio, baby. How about Alabama? Next Monday, they could win 3 titles in 4 years, Garrett. Unprecedented. I mean, if you're a blue chip All-American high school football player and Alabama wants you, why wouldn't you go there?
Right.
You know? But I think Notre Dame's going to beat them. You know, they met once in the national championship back in the 60s. And the Irish won. All right, here's an interesting fact.
It's going to be a better game than people think.
Oh, absolutely.
I think people think Alabama might just blow Notre Dame out of the water.
Let me tell you something. Notre Dame proved to me that they had speed when they beat Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And Notre Dame has a great defense. And you know what? Defense keeps you in ball games. And the other thing that I think is this is what I think is a big advantage to Notre Dame, their mobile quarterback. If you look at these teams like LSU's quarterback, not mobile at all. Alabama's going to have to deal with a quarterback that's got wheels. And I'm telling you, that's the way I analyze this thing. And Alabama got beat this year.
Yeah, it'll be a low score.
Notre Dame didn't.
Nobody's
Well, they
going
came
to torch
close.
the scoreboard, I don't think.
Now here's something nobody out there knows. Do you know the tongue, all of our tongues, has a print that is different than everybody else's tongue, just like fingerprints? So Garrett, you remember that when you commit a crime, don't leave a tongue print
That
behind.
was going to be my calling card. Leave a
Oh
tongue
my
print.
God, he
Not
left the
anymore.
tongue. Here's another fun fact. Honey is the only food that does not spoil. Honey found in the tombs of Egyptian pharaohs has been tasted by archaeologists. Those are freaking messed up people.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
And they found it edible. Wow. Guess how many rooms Buckingham Palace has?
600.
This is a funny story. In the year 2000, Pope John Paul II was named an honorary Harlem Globetrotter.
That's pretty much.
Oh my
Can you
God!
imagine the Pope out there?
The Pope out there passing that ball around. He likes to snow ski. Maybe he could ball.
They should all dress up like the Pope.
The Pope was an honor. Who thought of making the Pope an honorary Globetrotter?
It's pretty good. It's all publicity.
Oh God, damn it.
Pope's on Twitter now. Do you follow him?
No.
Me either.
I'm a sinner, not a saint. And there wasn't a single pony in the Pony Express. They were just horses. Why didn't they call it the Horse Express then? You watched the UFC?
Absolutely not.
Velasquez reclaimed the heavyweight title after defeating Junior Dos Santos in a rematch. He basically beat the hell out of
They
him
just
for 5 rounds.
Kick each other's teeth.
You know, I want to tell you, I watched Spike TV. Lesnar lose the other day. I'll tell you right now, I couldn't watch it. I mean, it gets so bad. I mean, it's like, I mean, you feel these are animals fighting each other. God, it's disturbing.
I know, man. They are. Did you ever you did that cage match? Did you ever take a foot to the side of the face?
No, I did not. I want to tell you something, folks, and I'm proud to say this. I have never had my ass kicked. I mean, I lost that fight, but I tapped out before I was hurt bad. That was a game plan of mine. I said, you know what? If I get in trouble, I'm tapping the hell out of here. I'm walking out of here, pissing off all my...
I could see you just running around in circles.
Are you ready to go? Let's get it on. Just take off running. Ah! That would have been a funny thing to do.
Get to like the 10th round. I went 10 rounds with you.
I manned up, baby. Except when we got on the ground, man, I just got worn out. You know, you do that, you realize how you can just get run around the ring. Oh, jeez, old feet.
I did watch that boxing match the other. It's been a month now or so. The Marquez Pacquiao. Pacquiao got laid out.
He got laid out. Boom, bam.
He was probably winning. He was winning the fight, and then just.
Have you ever get your ass kicked like in a street fight? Just somebody just beat the hell out of you?
No, I'm a pansy ass. I stay out of fights.
You know,
For that reason. I talk my way out of
I haven't had a fight in a long, long time, but the ones I did get in, I always remember what my karate teacher said, Bill Dimitrick. He who gets there with the most wins. If you get there first and you ain't got anything, you're in trouble. If you get there last, so they always taught us, like, if you knew you were going to have to fight, you might as well hit him first. I'm serious. You know if you're going to be able to talk your way out of it, or if you're going to have to hit somebody.
I'll tell you this, I would be a cheap shot artist. I would do anything I could.
Yeah. Pow!
Nuts.
There's no rules. There's no rules in
Poke
fighting.
him in the eyes.
Poke him in the
anything
eyes.
it takes.
like the Three
You win
Stooges,
the
Pulls
fight.
pop
nose,
them in the
pulls
head.
ear.
Now, all of you that have a temper, kind of like me, German researchers at the University of Jena have revealed a study suggesting that getting mad and expressing anger could add 2 years to your life. It found holding in negative emotions could have negative impacts on your mental and physical health, including high blood pressure, heart disease, and kidney damage. I have been talking about this for years. Russell Crowe says he gets it out. That's why he's never going to drop dead of a heart attack, and I agree. I'm telling you, I get it out, baby. Although one of my
you need this.
One of
This
my
show,
new
I think, does
this
it
is
out.
self-freaking therapy for me. Radio is self-therapy. This is something for all of you astronomers out there. There's going to be a meteor shower after midnight. You're going to be able to see fragments believed to be from EH1 asteroid will enter the Earth's atmosphere at 90,000 miles per hour and burn up around 50. Oh, guys, I sent Maria a message about your paychecks that I was supposed to deliver before I went to West Virginia. I said, she goes, forgot.
Hey, Maria,
Hey.
my livelihood.
Yes, you all.
You're fired, Maria.
Went without
I didn't
New
take the
Year's.
bus.
How was it like? How was it like going through New Year's Eve without any money? I mean, could you get into a bar on food stamps?
Well, I
Right,
walked
Maria,
in,
yeah.
I had no money for cover, so they didn't let me in. And then I went to a free bar and I had no money for drinks.
Well, she just said forgot.
Thanks, Maria.
Forgot.
Forgot.
Yeah. I forgot to pay my heating bill this winter because you forgot my paycheck.
Jeez, I'm sorry,
Fired.
guys. Yeah, we got to fire Maria. I'm sorry, you're fired.
But anyway, going back to the astrologers, something
Yes.
the nerds to do tonight.
Yeah,
Telescopes out.
Yeah, telescopes
Dust
out.
them off.
New mystery traffic reporter. Are you going to have your telescope out tonight?
No, I don't think so.
Get your mind out of the gutter, Gary. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Yours is in the
Jeez,
gutter.
Pete.
Unbelievable.
Telescopes, my God.
Sick.
Right
Right now.
how about this? Not only being mad, a review of brain imaging tests by scientists has shown that sugar and fructose can initiate changes in the brain that can lead to overeating. After drinking a drink with fructose, the human brain doesn't register being full. However, another study shows if you're a little fat, you live longer too. So be mad and fat like Chris Farley, you live longer as long as you don't do cocaine and opiates.
Yeah, you did a lot of it.
He did a lot of them, didn't he? Here's some more general news. The Sandy Hook Elementary students, God love them, are going to go back to school in a different school. We wish them all the best. Here's a kind of a funny story. The New York newspaper, the Journal News, that published a list of citizens licensed to carry a gun, along with a map of their location, has hired armed guards to protect its office buildings due to safety concerns. Isn't that ironic? Hillary Clinton hasn't been seen publicly for a month. First, she had a virus. Then she fell and had a concussion. Now, she's apparently got a blood clot. Chelsea apparently was seen photographed visibly upset after leaving New York Presbyterian on Monday. I'm going to tell you something, folks. This could be more serious than they're letting on. I'm just saying. Chicago murders from 91 to 2011. 532 people were murdered in Chicago. And let me tell you what, folks. I wonder if there had been that many murders if the good guys had
Hold on.
guns.
From when to when? You said 91.
Yeah, that was just a short period of time. In 2011, they're up 91 from 2011. In other words, 2012 had 91 more murders.
Okay.
And by the way, through December 25th, 2,670 were shot. 532 happened to die.
I'd go with a gun too, probably.
Have you ever been shot by a gun? That'd be an interesting experience. I was shot.
No, but you know what? I was watching The Hangover yesterday.
Yes.
You remember, that was a classic movie, right? Did you like that movie?
I like The Hangover. Classic.
When they're in the in like the classroom at the police station when they're getting tased.
Right.
They're trying to take like a little plea,
Right.
like, making a deal. Funniest scene in that movie.
All right, mystery traffic reporter. What do we got going on out there in traffic?
In Cincinnati, there's an accident on an exit ramp on I-275 westbound at US 27. In Montgomery, there's a disabled vehicle on Social Row Road. at Highway 48, and there's an accident in Claremont County on Highway 28.
See how they start increasing after the 7 o'clock hour?
Yeah, my luck's run dry.
That's what
Sorry,
happens.
guys.
It ran out.
Jeez,
We thought there'd be
Pete.
no accidents the rest of the eternity.
And the mystery traffic reporter will be announced at 8:05. And until then, for your listening pleasure, and folks, guess what? I got some more general news, and then I'm going to jump into politics, and you're going to love what the Bulldog has to say. This is Jimmy Page and Robert Plant. Thank you on Class X Radio. Take on the so-called fiscal cliff issue. I'm going to cover it at least for an hour. And ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, you're going to hear once again original commentary that you're not going to hear anyplace else. It blows me away, the lack of originality and thought that comes from national political pundits. And that's why in 2013 you're probably going to see me in the national news. How about this, folks? Let's get the jackwagon bell ready to go. Concord, Massachusetts has banned individual water bottles in town. Stores can be fined $50 for violating the sales ban put into effect to show the urgency in cutting down on plastic waste. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Pennsylvania governor is going to sue the NCAA over the Penn State sanctions. Part of their issue is the sanction, like they're going to use that fine to do what? Give it to other schools. They're going to say not fair. You know what I'm saying? Hospital employees. IU Health Goshen Hospital in Indiana fired 8 employees for failing to get the flu shot. Folks, I get questions about this all the time, and the answer is yes, they can fire you if you don't get a flu shot. I mean, if you don't want to get a flu shot, you don't have to, but you know what, folks? You got to get a flu shot.
I've heard a lot of people get sick after. I mean, I know that's what the flu shot is. It's like injecting a little of the flu in you. But I've heard of more people getting sick when they get them.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, to set up my commentary on the fiscal cliff and the vote, I'm going to give you some facts. And then we'll get into my commentary after this segment. The final House vote was 257 to 167, 11 p.m. last night. And it now goes to Obama for signature. Obama left for Hawaii for the rest of his vacation. John Boehner voted yes for this bill. And the bottom line is Obama threw down. He goes, I will not have another debate with this Congress over whether or not they should pay the bills they've already racked up through the laws that they passed. Let me repeat, we cannot pay bills that we've already incurred. Trust me, folks, I'm going to comment about that. The House overrode Obama's executive order to unblock pay freeze. The reinstatement of the Congressional Federal Worker Pay Freeze passed 287 to 129, with 55 Democrats voting with Republicans to block their own pay increases. Iowa Democrat U.S. Senator Tom Harkin on the fiscal cliff deal said it fell short. In the deal, 77% of households would see the end of the payroll tax cut. Also, those earning over $506,000 will see $77,000 increase in their tax bill. And guess what? The fiscal cliff deal adds $4 trillion to the deficit, because you know what, folks? They raised $100 billion in new revenue, and they only cut $15 billion from spending. Before the House vote on the fiscal cliff deal, the White House released a fact sheet saying, at this make-or-break moment for the middle class, the president achieved a bipartisan solution that keeps income taxes low for the middle class and grows the economy. For the first time in 20 years, Congress will have acted on a bipartisan basis to vote for significant new revenue. I'm going to comment on that. I got a lot to comment on. Though Hollywood types say, oh, we need to pay our fair share, guess what? The legislation extends a tax incentive for films costing $15 million or less to produce. How you like that? And NASCAR keeps their little tax credit. It's amazing. Now let's focus in on what's in this sucker, okay? I got my little cheat sheet here. The 2% point cut in the payroll tax will lapse, returning it to 6.2% level enacted 2 years ago. Employees could see similar paychecks as early as in the month, or smaller paychecks as early in the month. The other tax income reduced by $125 billion this year. The bill extends tax cuts on incomes up to $400,000. If you make $450,000 as a couple, you're going to now pay 39.6% instead of 35%. Estate tax are going to be taxed at 40%, with the first $5 million exempted. Taxes on capital gains and dividends will increase from 15 to 20% for individuals and incomes exceeding $400,000. Rand Paul got it right. Oh, this is going to make you feel good. Let's just tax the rich, tax the rich. And guess what? Those jobless benefits, we're going to increase them for another year. So if you're unemployed getting jobless benefits, you get it for another year. It's unbelievable. And just to let you know about health care, the so-called employer mandate's going to take effect. You know, they got to pay a penalty of $2,000 per worker, excluding the first 30 employees. Well, this doesn't take effect till January 2014, but they have to track it to 3 to 12 months, the schedule. So that's going to whop everybody too. It's incredible. When we come back after this segment, you're going to hear from me what I think about all this. But until then, how about a traffic report from our mystery traffic reporter, who will be announced at 8:05.
The reveal.
Be revealed.
The reveal 2013.
By the way, Bill Spry, the owner of this station, says hello and welcome to Class X Radio, mystery traffic reporter.
I'm glad to be here.
All right.
All right, in Cincinnati, there's an accident. 2 lanes are blocked on I-74, eastbound at Coleraine. In Cincinnati, there's also an accident on Grant Avenue at Westwood Avenue. In Claremont, there's an accident on Highway 28 at I-275. And in Cincinnati, there's an accident on the exit ramp on I-275 westbound at US 27.
All right. Stay away from those areas. Now, as you look around, and all these posters are before your time because you're only 24 years old.
I'm 27.
27, excuse me. You're only 27 years old. I got to ask you this. Is there any poster out there that you would like to see hung up here?
I can think of one, but I don't think we're going to be able to reveal that yet.
Okay.
I'll let you know at 8:05.
What's your favorite one that we have so far? You probably like Farrah, maybe the Kate Upton we got today. Sophia is a nice ass. Tommy Boy up there.
I think Farrah Fawcett's my favorite right now.
Isn't she beautiful?
Yes, she is.
Horrible poster.
Oh my gosh.
Poster's
blasphemy.
overrated, I'm just saying.
That's blasphemy.
Overrated. This one's the best, Raquel.
Raquel, baby.
Until Upton goes up, Raquel's.
She got the best there.
What's
Hey, listen to this, folks. Top personal income tax rate goes 35% to 41. Estate tax 35 to 40. Capital gains tax 15 to 23.8. Dividend tax 15 to 23.8. Medical device tax was 0, it's now 2.3. Payroll tax was 10.4, now 12.4. And the Obama payroll tax surcharge was 0, is now 0.9. Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, what do you think all those taxes are going to do for the economy? They're going to make the economy grow. Not. Man, I tell you, it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. Do you know what I mean? I tell you, when we come back, everybody's going to know it's not rocket science. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, this was a movie with Al Pacino, who unfortunately Jake has failed to get a poster for me yet. And this is Honey Drippers, Sea of Love. I love this song. At least I think this is the song. If it's not the song I think it is, we'll kill it. No, I think this is the song. I don't know. Is it? On Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. You can listen to us on Class X Radio every morning on 88.9 and 89.1 FM in Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, and Indiana. And you can email me at eric@ericdieters.com or text me at 859-250 2527. Any ideas you have for the show? Don't forget to pick up your free copy of Class X Radio's new magazine, Northern Kentucky Live. It is available at all Northern Kentucky Kroger and CVS stores beginning this Friday. You can also view a digital copy by liking our Facebook page. Just search Northern Kentucky Live, 2 words, on Facebook. Northern Kentucky Live is another community-minded project created and published by Class X Radio, and it's going to be focused on the local music scene and more. I wrote an article for it, and Bill Spry and I are on the cover of the first issue. And I will be writing every week. And also we'll have our mystery traffic reporter maybe write something. I don't know. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, ever since President Barack Obama's re-election, and ever since the debate about the quote-unquote fiscal cliff, who I agree with William, if we could only get rid of that word out of our lexicon. You know, it's been this situation where everybody's talked about Barack Obama having the control and the power and the leverage over the Republicans, and the Republicans had no place to go. Now, that is such a bunch of crap. Why is it? Because the Democrats and the Republicans, 2 parties who both suck, created the fiscal cliff by forming their super committee, which was deadlocked on arrival, which could not solve the problem. And the reality of it is we have got to $16.4 trillion in debt in this country. And guess what? The Republicans and the president, the Democrats, they cannot extend that without congressional approval. Okay? So there's plenty of leverage. But what do? Mitch McConnell joins with Joe Biden, and the Senate passes at 80-some, I think it was 86 to 14 or whatever the vote was. And then the House passes it last night. Democrats and Republicans voting for it. I think 167 voted against it. And all it does is increase revenue, the short-term bill of $100 billion. Remember, we have $1 trillion plus annual deficit, and it cuts spending by like $15 billion. And the debt ceiling is it's really there, but Geithner's played a few games, so he buys us 2 more months. So basically in February, we're going to have to address that issue. Okay? Now, here is something. And I watch the news. See, I watch and read the news even though I wasn't here for 10 days. And I cannot believe, once again, and I apologize to you for saying this over and over again, but I do it to make the point that if you want to know the truth, if you want to know what's really going on, if you want to know the reality, if you want to know the right debate points, I'm sorry, you got to listen to me. I mean, because Rush doesn't say this, Hannity doesn't say this, O'Reilly doesn't say this, Laura Ingraham doesn't say this. Nobody has said what I'm about ready to say. Here is the rhetorical question for the day. As you're driving down the road, as you're listening at work, on your computer, on your app, Class X Radio, ClassXRadio.com, BulldogNation.com, watching the simulcast, I want each of you to ponder this rhetorical question, which hasn't been asked by Mitch McConnell, John Boehner, and the rest of the dumbasses in Congress. I want you to name one person you know who voted for Barack Obama's re-election, who will vote now for the Republicans because the Republicans did this deal with Barack Obama. The answer? None. You can't name one damn voter that's going to now vote with the Republicans instead of Barack Obama Because they did this deal. Now, question number 2. Ding, 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 ding. I want you to name one person who voted for Mitt Romney and the Republicans, one person who wouldn't still vote for Mitt Romney and the Republicans if the Republicans said, stick it up your fanny, Mr. President, we ain't going along. The answer? None. So will you explain to me, all these big smart politicians, the minority leader of the Senate, Mitch McConnell, the Speaker of the House, John Boehner, Karl Rove, all the pundits, Charles Krauthammer, all of these freaking smart, intelligent people that make millions of dollars from Fox News and their radio shows and their television shows are incapable. They can't size this whole situation up that freaking simple. And the point is, the Republicans had nothing to gain. Nothing by doing this deal. And nothing to lose. Why? Because everybody that voted, look around your county, Hamilton County, Butler County, Kenton County. Is there one person that voted for Mitt Romney and the Republicans that wouldn't say, good for the Republicans for telling Barack Obama to kiss their ass? No, everybody would say, good for you. And do you think that freaking liberal socialist guy living down the street is going to say, well, by golly, I voted for Barack Obama, but you know what? I think I'm going to vote for John Boehner and Mitt Romney next time because they went along with this deal. And not one. You know what? We're a little radio station, but I take great pride in superbity. Radio superbity, legal superbity, political commentary superbity. Not one damn political pundit has asked those questions and pointed that out. Now, there's some that say, oh, the Republicans should stick to their guns. Republicans, but not why they should stick to their guns. They lose people and not gain anybody by doing this. Why? Because there's some people that voted for them like, oh my God, here they go. They're caving in. Garrett, am I not right? I mean, who the hell is going to all of a sudden say, well, by golly, I want to support the Republicans now? Nobody. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not done with this. I'm going to fire you up for another hour. But until then, we got to get a traffic report from our mystery traffic reporter who will be revealed after the next break.
In Covington, there was an accident. A pedestrian was struck on Madison Avenue.
Call Eric Dieters at... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
And
Hope you're okay, seriously.
right lane is still blocked on I-74 eastbound at Colerain, exit 18.
All right. Garrett, are you excited about the announcement we're going to make?
I am pumped.
I am
Reaction
too.
across the nation.
I am too. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, it's appropriate that we have a sweet song here after my tirade. Ballroom Blitz on Class X Radio. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, if you're just tuning in, this is now January 2nd, 2013. Hello. We have a major announcement to make here this morning. She has been our mystery traffic reporter since 6 a.m. and we are now going to reveal the name of our new traffic reporter, who will no longer be a mystery. And this is her first day on the job. And not only, well, I'm not going to, she's going to serve more as our traffic reporter. But without further ado, the brilliance of Bill Spry, who called me up and suggested this. It is the one, the only, Sarah Jones.
Woo!
Sarah, welcome to Class X Radio.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
And I thought about this, Sarah. Not only can you be our traffic reporter, but since you're a Bengal cheerleader, you can be our health and fitness, dancing, Bengals, cheerleading expert. And since you were a school teacher, you can also be our education expert, kind of like the way Nicole Howe was for Tracy and Eddie.
I'm a jack of all trades. What can I say?
I mean, so that's awesome, though. We got all these skills. And you know what? You get up early in the morning anyway. You're already working for me, so it's like, what the heck? It just works out easy as can be. And today we've let you focus on this important job of traffic, but as you can tell, in between traffic, you can do some typing in between these reports. By the way, I focused on the show today too, but I usually work in between breaks. I'm a multitasking machine. But Sarah, give us a traffic report and what's going on out there in the tri-state.
In Covington, there's an accident on the exit ramp on Kyle's Lane, and there's still the accident, pedestrian struck on Madison Avenue.
Man, I hope they're okay. Getting struck by a car. You know what? And if you haven't heard yet, folks, I killed Bambi in downtown Independence today, 100 yards short of the marathon station. It was thump, thump, thump. And I didn't have time to stop. But Bambi's dead. There's no... If there is not a dead deer at 5:45 laying in the middle of the road, I'd be shocked.
May he rest in pieces.
That's terrible. By the way, we got Jack. We're going to do one Jack Wagon at the end of these names, okay? These are the Jack Wagons of the year. Lindsay Lohan and her mom and dad. Jerry Sandusky. E.L. James. Who the hell's that? Snooky and Snooky's baby. And Snooky's baby daddy. They're not the baby, the baby's daddy. Yeah. Lance Armstrong. All of the Kardashians, including Kanye West. The replacement refs, Chris Brown, Hurricane Sandy, and the #1 Jack Wagon of the year, Barack Obama. Jack Wagon them all up. Now the oracles of the year will be yours truly, the Bulldog, Garrett Sablehouse, Jake the Snake Slagle, Bill Class X Radio Spry, and his lovely wife Rhonda Spry, Sarah J. Jones.
Yes.
What's your middle initial?
E.
Sarah E. Jones. Sarah, is there a poster of you as a Bengal cheerleader that we could bring into the studio? We could put it next to Raquel and Farrah.
I cheered for 6 years, so I can come up with one.
All right, we like that. We like that. You can imagine how jealous Willie is. Willie's already told me he's going to raise some hell that he's stuck with Chuck Ingram. You do a much better job of reading the traffic than Chuck Ingram does. I just want you to know that. And Sarah, I got another, I just want to complain. The year in the news, you were like #1 in Cincinnati, okay? And I think this is because we sued the Enquirer that you were number 10. You were behind in the top news stories: killer tornadoes, Brent Spence Bridge, UK win the national championship, Davis leaving, Massey winning, the CVG changes, NKU moving to Division I, the 92-year-old Verona man, nobody even knows who Earl Jones's name is, the casino bill being defeated, Covington's rebirth, and then they have you, which is a crock. Sarah Jones was the #1 story in the tri-state this past year.
Sarah.
The #1 story in the tri-state this year was Sarah Jones walking out of the courtroom holding hands with Cody. By the way, the fans want to know, Sarah, are you and Cody still dating?
Yes, we are.
All right.
My New Year's resolution is to not be in the top 10 stories next year.
Well, you're going to be. You know why? Because on January 22nd, the Dirty.com trial starts, which, by the way, we're not going to talk about it, any of the specifics leading up to the trial. We don't want to tamper a jury pool. But we're going to kick some butt, and that jury verdict's going to be the largest jury verdict in the tri-state. So that'll be in the news.
Kick some butt and stack them.
I cannot wait to cross-examine Nick Ritchie on the freaking stand. That's all I'm going to say.
Is that guy like Cincinnati only or what?
No, they're in 50 cities. The Dirty.com gets 600,000 hits a day.
People are losers.
People, I mean, you know what? Who wakes up and there's a group of, the Jersey Shore kind of people, I guess. You wake up in the morning and you want to go log on dirt about people.
Yeah. Because your life is so pathetic.
That's what it is.
That you have to live vicariously through other people.
You hit the nail on the head.
That's why reality television is so freaking, everybody
terrible.
loves it. I hate that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, when we come back, I got a little bit of news about Barack Obama's kid's school that you're going to find interesting. This happened over the holidays, and you're going to need to know it. And I'm going to continue my blasting the Republicans and the Democrats and Barack Obama. How bad does it got to get? You've heard me say that, didn't you? Haven't you heard me say that? How bad does it got to get before they do something? The answer is $16.4 trillion and over $1 trillion budget deficit isn't bad enough. It's still not bad enough. $16.4 trillion in debt. Heck, Barack Obama thought $5 trillion was too much. You got that song?
Jake's finishing the
What?
dumping of it in now.
I thought we already
We
had
got
it.
a new. Well, we did.
Now he's giving thumbs up. Has it been dumped appropriately? See, after the announcement of Sarah Jones, our traffic reporter, I wanted to have a foot stomp and feel-good song. This is Rob Jungles' Memphis Thing. I never get tired of it. Neither should you on Class X Radio.
Rock Class X.
This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Remember, coming up this Friday, Northern Kentucky Live magazine can be had at every Kroger and CVS pharmacy in Northern Kentucky. And also you can go to Northern Kentucky Live on Facebook and check it out. Sarah Jones, the new traffic reporter at Class X Radio. We're excited about it. We have broken our record for live radio listeners online. There you go. It's all about ratings and revenue. That's what I was taught. It's about ratings and revenue. And I want to thank Window World for being a sponsor of the show. And I also want to thank the latest sponsor of the show, Jim True Ford from Brookville, Indiana. Jim, I cannot thank you enough. Bill Spry, I'm sure, can't thank you enough for doing this for us. To have an auto dealer is awesome. And I think it'll break the dam, so to speak, for other car dealerships if they want to be advertising. And it's not even close. Not only the best morning drive show in the tri-state, the best radio show in the entire freaking country, which we prove every morning. And it's just that simple. And our viewership, we're not hooked in because of the money on that Arbitron stuff, but I can tell you right now, based upon email responses, based upon text messages I get, I've been doing this for 6 years, I know that our listenership keeps going up, 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 and up. And with the addition of our new traffic reporter, it's even going to go up further. And by the way, we're going to have Jim True on. Jim True is my kind of guy. I got a great story of how I met Jim True in my office. It is hilarious. It's one of the most interesting client experiences I've ever had. And it's a hoot. You will laugh. It is classic Bulldog, and it's classic Jim True. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, I'm not done with the fiscal cliff talk. Barack Obama makes these comments that he's not going to be held hostage by the House. Really? Well, how about the House being held hostage by you, Mr. President? This political doublespeak cracks me up. In other words, when one's in a position that they say the standard political gobbledygook. And then when the other one is, they say the same thing. For example, if you're a candidate running for office and you can't raise money, you always say, well, my campaign isn't about money, it's about the issues. And if you're raising a whole bunch of money, you say, well, he's not serious enough to raise enough money, so I'm not going to debate him. And it cracks me up, no matter what party you are, depending on which side of that you're on, is the reality. And Barack Obama proved what an ass he is, because as soon as they reach this deal, he dogs the Republicans with, you see the Republicans campaign against these tax increases on the rich, and here they go again. Da 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 da. If I was the Republicans, I would say, stick it, President. And when Barack Obama blames you for quote-unquote going off the fiscal cliff, remind him that it was the Democrats and the Republicans that created the nightmare. And I gave you about 9,654 reasons not to vote for Barack Obama. And guess what? The people that voted for him, it didn't make any difference. It didn't make any difference. And the people that voted against him, they get it. Nothing changes if the Republicans would have stuck to their guns. What I'm about ready, and this happened, this information came to me over the holidays, and I didn't get a chance to talk about it, but it was something that I wrote down, and I hope I don't get emotional. I don't think I will. I hope I don't get emotional. And this sums up the phoniness of Barack Obama and the Democrats. I mean, this is so phony. It ought to make you mad. All right, I'm gonna do my best Matthew McConaughey in Time to Kill. Now, if you're driving, I don't want you to close your eyes. I just want you to think for a minute. All right? As you're driving right now, I want you to think of your children who are school age, preschool, grade school, high school, college. I want you to think of your child. If you don't have a child, I want you to think of your niece, your nephew, or your grandchild. For purposes of this discussion, I'm going to be thinking of my children, and I'm going to be thinking of Riley and Reagan, my grandchildren. All right, now, I want you to think about that child that you love more than anything in the whole wide world. Think about them. I want you to think. Think about them smiling. Think about them playing. Think about how much they enjoyed their Christmas. Think about how much you love them. Now I want you to think now, you got that vision of that incredible amount of unconditional love that you have for that child. Are you thinking of that child? All right. Think about it. How much you love them. Do anything for them. Protect them. Do anything to protect them, right? All right. Now I want you to think of Barack Obama's two daughters. I'll start it. Barack Obama's two girls are not any more precious and not any more deserving of protection from evil than that child or that grandchild that you have in your mind. Are they? Do you think Barack Obama's two girls deserve more protection than your child or your grandchild? The answer that I have is hell freaking no. I don't want nothing bad to happen to them, but I don't want nothing bad to happen to Riley, or Reagan, or Parker, or Cameron, or Cole, Charlie Ann, or Erica. None of them. All right? Guess how many armed guards are at Barack Obama's kids' school? 11. That freaking phony man of a president. His kids have his kids' school, 11 armed guards. And that phony jackwagon of a president can tell all of us, we need gun control, and let's not have guns in schools where the only way you can protect that person that you had in your mind from harm is a good guy with a gun. No. His children and his children's friends and classmates deserve 11 armed guards, and yours deserves none. Kiss my ass, Mr. President. My children and my grandchildren and my friends and my fans' children are as precious as yours, pal. Did I say that strong enough? I hope I did. I got more on this too. But until then, I got to get a traffic report in. Sarah E. Jones, what do we have in traffic?
There's an accident on Yankee at Cincinnati Dayton Road. In Kenton, there's an accident. Right shoulder is blocked on I-71, I-75 northbound at US 25. There's an injury accident on Princeton Glendale Road at Milliken Road.
All right, thank you. And once again, folks, have you heard anybody else? Come on, you listen to other people on the radio and television. Have you heard anybody sum up the guns and the school issue better than I just did with an analogy? No. The answer is no. You protect your child. You protect your grandchild. Oh, and by the way, when we come back, I'm going to give the damn solution, the cheap solution to this problem when we come back. But until then, we got rock and roll music to play on Class X. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. I got to just make another point about this gun issue. Several more points. First off, as I stressed, at the Newtown Sandy Hook School, a guy's there shooting kids. What happens? They call 911 to have somebody with a gun to come shoot the guy with the gun. It is beyond my grasp of stupidity that any common sense person would say, oh, why don't we have people with guns there? Now, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, okay, I was original on what the Republicans' position should be. I was original on the hypocrisy of the president on guns. Now, here I go again with something that no one has said. And all I got to do is turn back to George H.W. Bush, who I was his Northern Kentucky chairman when he ran for president. And I want you to know, there was something that he adopted which was awesome. And when you compare it to the socialism and the government, more government of this president, it's night and day. Remember 1,000 points of light? First time I thought of it, no. The 1,000 points of light theory was volunteerism, which is what America has always exhibited. 1,000 points of light. 1,000 points of light. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, all these people that oppose gun, in fact, my buddy Kenny, Bulldog Nation member Kenny, who says, well, schools can't afford to have people in guns, their budgets are already bare, blah, blah, blah. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, you think of your community. Think of every community across America. How many retired police officers, active police officers, veterans, security guards, individuals that know how to handle a gun, and all you do is do this. One day a week, you screen them, you screen them. You know why? It's easy to do. And you and I both know, for example, me in Kenton County, all right? I don't know how many public, I can count them if I went through my head, how many public schools there are, grade schools, middle schools, and high schools. Let's say there's 10, okay? You tell me we don't have 50 people, we already have school resource officers, we don't have 50 people in Kenton County who are retired veterans, retired police officers, retired security guards, or even active policemen who would not volunteer one day a week to be the protector of that school. Think about how much they would love to know that they were protecting those school children from a massacre like Sandy Hook. It would not cost these school districts across America a dime. There are people qualified that would do it for free. Once again, nobody's mentioned that freaking idea in this debate. Am I the only one with common sense? Maybe, I tell you right now, I must have had the perfect upbringing, life experience, and education to be who I am today. Thank you very much, all who contributed to that. Because I don't get how people miss these obvious solutions to the problem. So next time somebody says, well, these school districts can't afford this. Are you kidding me? Volunteers, one day. I'll bet you there's some out there that would like to do it 5 days a week. It's called Tom Sawyer in them. You know what? Huckleberry Finn them. You know what you do? You let them realize, because they do, they like to feel good. I talked to Randy McCafferty about churches, and I said, you know, some people don't want to get involved in church. He told me that if you want a church to survive, your congregation has to get involved. They have to be doing things. That's how they feel part of it. Well, that's how you solve this problem. Volunteers. And you know what? I think we all know the stable people in our communities, do we not? Yes, we do. That would crave the feeling that they were protecting. Our Lincoln for the day, from my Lincoln book, Right and wrong are the two principles that have stood face to face from the beginning of time and will ever continue to struggle. The one is the common right of humanity, and the other the divine right of kings. It is the same principle in whatever shape it develops itself. It is the same spirit that says, you work and toil and earn bread, and I'll eat it. No matter in what shape it comes, whether from the mouth of a king who seeks to bestride the people of his own nation and live by the fruit of their labor, or from one race of men as an apology for enslaving another race, it is the same tyrannical principle. Folks, right makes might, as Lincoln said. I used that in a legal brief last week, by the way. The right and wrong, good and evil are with us, will always be with us. Yesterday I watched for the first time the latest remake of The Three Musketeers, and it was pretty good. Remember them? Athos, Porthos, Aramis, and D'Artagnan, the fourth musketeer. And they're sitting around, and the old musketeers are sitting there, you know, they're not in the French musketeer group anymore, and they say, you know what? We don't have any causes to deal with, so we just drink, we argue, we fight with the king's men. We need a cause. We need a cause. We need a cause. All men need causes, don't we? I need a cause. I got a cause every day to fight injustice. Every single day I wake up and here I am battling another injustice. And you know what cracks me up? I always crack up the people on the other side of the injustice. I'm always scratching my head thinking to myself, how do they feel good defending that injustice? I mean, Michael Gottawa was gunned down, shot in the back by a freaking cop, right on videotape, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, how do they defend that? With all due respect to opposing counsel and the defendant. You feel good about that? I don't feel good about that. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't negotiate a proper thing. See, because I can defend somebody who's guilty. It's like, okay, what's a fair punishment? Everybody gets that. What's a fair punishment? But I tell you right now, we need a cause. And I tell you right now, the cause right now that needs to be made in this country is to freaking stand up to this government, which is a colossal train wreck. Now we go to traffic. With our new traffic reporter, Sarah Jones, education expert, former Bengal cheerleader, teacher, and still dating Cody, which is your right to do.
Right.
Go ahead.
There's an injury accident on Princeton Glendale Road. In Cincinnati, there's an overturned vehicle on the off-ramp on I-275 westbound at Whitten Road. There's an accident on Guest Street and at State Avenue, and there's a Cincinnati disabled vehicle on Vine Street and East Galvin Road.
Guest Street, that's right out here.
That's right out here on Guest Street. We'll go out and look out the window and say, what's going on here?
Jake, go help them out.
Hey, Jake, I would like the last hour and 15 minutes of my show, the last 4 segments. I'd like those, please.
Okay.
I'm going to send them to who's television folks.
Fancy folks.
I think they were Radio Suburbia. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, you know what we need to do? And by the way, Bar Association, I'm using this metaphorically, figuratively. Okay? Okay? This is Bruce Springsteen. War. What is it good for? I'll tell you what it's good for. To protect the innocent. For right to conquer wrong. For good to conquer evil. That's what war is for. Sometimes you gotta fight a war. On Class X Radio. Eric Dieter's the Bulldog on Class X Radio. I got to give Oracle status to Bulldog Nation member Deanna, who says she goes out in her car in the cold to listen to the radio. So you get Oracle status, Deanna. And also Bulldog Nation member Tony, who points out, you know, Barack Obama talks about everybody paying their fair share. He spends $7 million of our money going back to Hawaii for some more vacation, which he doesn't deserve and he doesn't need. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, this freaking president is incredible. He's shameless. But let's get a traffic report so she can get to work. Sarah E. Jones, what's going on out there in traffic?
In Cincinnati, there's an overturned vehicle on the off-ramp on I-275 westbound at Whitten Road, and there's an accident on Burnett Avenue at William Howard Taft Road.
Well, very good. You passed
That's all I have for you today.
You passed the first test of the day. Garrett, should she come back tomorrow?
She can come back. You're hired.
Very
She's
good.
already better than our previous
Now be nice.
traffic reporter.
By the way, our other traffic reporter, I think, is going to get a national show on the Weather Channel.
I doubt it.
Be nice.
Come on.
We exchanged Merry Christmases, by the way.
Did you?
Yes, we did.
I didn't get that text. Who instigated it?
Me. Because I'm a nice person.
Suck.
You're mean.
You're a sucker.
Sarah, thank you.
Thanks for having
Don't
me.
forget
I'll
that.
see you guys tomorrow.
Don't forget that poster. Mark.
Yes, we need more posters.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury. I have, Jack Klugman passed away. Of course, Oscar Madison on The Odd Couple. By the way, I forgot this little fun fact. More money is spent on gardening than any other hobby. You have to think about that.
See you guys.
And by the way, congratulations, Bill Spry. Obviously, you've been selling your little butt off because our commercials were longer. There are more ads.
Long breaks today.
There was this guy
You're welcome, Bill.
who passed away named Charles Durning. He was known as the king of the character actor. I'll tell you who he is if you wondered. He was the governor in Oh Brother, How Art Thou. He's that big fat white-haired guy. He was the governor in Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. He played all those kind of roles. He was in Tootsie. He was her dad. But I'm going to tell you something. I read from the New York Times his story. And I'm telling you, what an incredible guy. He was the only member of his group that landed on Omaha Beach, that lived. The only guy. He was captured at the Battle of the Bulge. And when they murdered prisoners, he was the only guy to escape. I mean, incredible life this guy lived. And he spent 10 years when he got back with psychological just numbness until he decided to go into acting. This championship season was his first big gig on Broadway that kind of got him rolling. But what a life this guy had. And I read the New York Times, and I'm going to analyze this week for you some of their articles about taxes. It is hilarious. But another story in the New York Times was on Declan Sullivan. And I got to send this to my cousin Josh, a big Notre Dame fan. Declan Sullivan is the young man that fell off the platform in the windstorm several years back
Scissor lift.
and died. And he was the videographer of the practice for the Irish. And it was an uproar. The New York Times did a story about his father. His father. And they didn't sue. And the father and the mother, knew that there were mistakes made, but as they pointed out that there wasn't anything intentional done. Now I'm very confident there was probably a settlement without a lawsuit. But how his other son is applied to go there. His daughter goes there. He's an engineer. And they tell the story of Declan Sullivan and how he loved video and he loved his trumpet and he applied to Wisconsin. He was going to go to Wisconsin. He got accepted. Then he got accepted to Notre Dame and went there. And what a great kid. And true story. I mean, this is eerie. They ought to do a movie about this kid's life. He produced a story called Clouds. And it's a story about a guy that's running for a cloud and he reaches for a cloud at a stadium. And he reaches for the cloud and he falls. And he dies. And he tells the story about this kid. And everything that he describes in that little short film that he did was applicable to what happened to him. And he tweeted, well, I guess I've lived long enough when he was up there because of the windstorm. And
Tongue in cheek, obviously.
tongue in cheek. But I'm telling you how Notre Dame handled this, how his family handled it, and this kid, and they're paying for all of them to go to the national championship game as their guests. And they started a fund for kids with scholarships in Chicago, the Declan Sullivan Foundation. He's named after an Irish saint, Declan. I love that name. All of their kids' names were kind of cool names. But great stories. Charles Durning, Declan Sullivan. And I love stories like this. And once again, I read these stories and I'm thinking, Hollywood makes such lousy movies. Why don't they make these movies? I mean, and they're true. I mean, they're just true. It makes no sense that they're not made into movies. This Charles Durning, How do you're the only guy that survives the landing on Omaha Beach. You're the only guy that handles a slaughter of military prisoners. You might think, you know what, God's got something special for him. Wow. Garrett, it's great to be back. Were you ready to come back as much as I was?
I was looking forward to it.
Me too. I woke up without my alarm clock at 4:35 this morning.
I didn't do that.
I mean, by the way, I agree with the Kate Upton selection. Wow.
Oh, by the way, do you park? Yeah, oh, is she not just sexy? It's unbelievable. She's hot. Do you have a garage? Do you park your car in the garage?
No, you know, this is funny. The only car that goes parked in our garage, like most garages, got everything but cars in it.
Yeah.
Except my stepson's car goes in it with a cover on it. He owns the garage spot. But I don't mind because he's taking really good care of his car, so I'm all right with it. But yeah, his car gets parked in the garage. None of other cars are in the garage.
Okay, I just got yesterday, my stepbrother installed a remote starter. So I started my car from my bedroom window today.
I need that.
By the time I got out there, it's so easy.
I want that.
Yeah, you need to get it.
Remote starter. I like that idea. Because my truck starts really well.
Yeah, and you're not supposed to drive them, but the worst part is like if it's frosted over, you know, you got to sit there and wait, or
Right.
it's dangerous.
You believe we forgot Lombardi. We're going to replay it.
Oh no. Yeah.
We got Lombardi on the way, though.
That's right.
Icons. You know, I think the WDJO guys are jealous that we decorated their studio in an impressive manner.
Yep. This thing was barren when we got in here.
Boring. Now it's got character. Are we ready now?
We're ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, I hope you've kept all your New Year's resolutions. I have, so far. I'm going to go practice law and deliver legal superbity, just like I deliver radio superbity. That's what we do here. Every dog has their day. I hope 2013 is your year on Class X Radio. I love you, Bulldog Nation.